Hello DIY friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Danie, your friendly neighborhood DIYer, and today we are going to tackle some really cool, unique, think outside the box art pieces that literally anyone can do in their home. Last week I got really inspired by painting this mural. It felt good to kind of get back into my artsy roots, and I didn't want to stop. I'm on that train and I want to keep going. We're going to tap into our creative artsy roots and flourish. I've had this idea. We're gonna be creating two 3D art pieces that are kind of contemporary, but one has a nature vibe to it and one is really fun for the kitchen. So I hope that you're ready. With that said, for the first project, we need to go to the great outdoors to get some of our materials. So if you're with me, let's go on an adventure. Editor, roll the tape. Boop. Good morning DIY friends, it's very early and it's very foggy outside. I'm just getting ready to go because I'm gonna go down to the beach this morning, go for a little walk, but also do a little DIY scavenger hunt because I'm looking for the perfect shaped rocks. I guess I'm gonna bring my backpack.
Why is your suitcase full of rocks? I don't tell you how to live your life.
Let's go on an adventure. I'm sorry, boo, you can't come with me. I already took you for your adventure. Also, do you guys want to see a robin's egg? Check it out. Look at that. Is this not the most picturesque thing you've ever seen? It's like the perfect nest. The little bird decided that our ladder was the place to put the little nest, and now I can't move the ladder because I don't want the babies to not hatch. Let's go. I got my rocks. I think I got enough. It's hard to say, but I think I got enough. So I'm feeling good. And let's go back to the house. So back to present day, you're probably wondering what on earth was I collecting rocks on the beach for? Other than being super serene, it allowed me to connect back to nature. It was like the best trip ever. I had this idea for this art piece that includes painting rocks, but don't let me lose you yet because we're gonna do it in a really unique way that looks high end, okay? So I was flipping through this magazine. I came across this ad by Little Green Paint and Paper. Let me show you guys this. It was an ad to show off their paint colors, but they did it on all these rocks. And I was thinking to myself, this is one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen in my life. Kudos to the marketing team. Obviously, I'm taking this as inspiration. I'm gonna make mine a little bit different and a little bit more me. Basically do this, but on steroids. So I wanna create a cool 3D painted stone rock thing on my wall. So let's go paint some rocks. All right. That's never a good thing. Okay, we have our perimeter, so now we just start building. Now I need to figure out my rock color system, and I want to do an ombre, a very natural color, so I kind of want to create a swatch pad. We're going to do some painting, very simple painting, but paint mixing more or less. I think we have a pretty solid palette going. I think we're just gonna have to start painting some rocks and then see where we go. So I have two things. I have these tweezers and tongs. So I'm kind of trying to just let the rock paint itself and then kind of go from there. This really isn't the best cup. I should have probably done this in a bigger. Okay, so no word of a lie, that took all day. I think knowing that it's the end of the day, I'm gonna go prep my wood and then probably cut it tomorrow morning. No, I'll cut the wood now and then I'll assemble the frame tomorrow morning. There we go. So let's go cut some wood and then call it a day, I guess. I simply just took all the edges that I cut and I used the old brad nail and I just made a frame. I'm a little nervous that the frame is like the depth of the frame is a bit too much, but I think once all the rocks actually get in there, it's gonna start to feel pretty good. And this is all gonna get painted a nice crisp white, so the rocks are really gonna stand out against it. And I think we can call it a day. So I lied. I came back and I decided I'm just gonna paint this because why not? Okay, I'll see you tomorrow, guys. Good morning, DIY friends. We have coffee. We have almost a positive attitude. I don't know. I woke up this morning feeling very weird about this DIY. I mean, my intentions was to create an elevated look of kind of like a stone art. So I'm hoping that my gut and my creative instincts are going to be right on this, but it's possible that this could just look like a bunch of stones inside a frame on a wall. The idea might be there, but maybe my color scheme is off. I don't know. I'm feeling like weird about it. I'm feeling weird about all of it. We're gonna put the stones inside here and then we'll see how it goes. I just did some thinking and I needed to pull color from this living room a little bit more. I think I was kind of going a little safe, a little too muted. And looking at my living room, I mean, you guys have seen this a bajillion times, but we have blacks, we have dark greens, we have kind of this like yellowy brass color. I think we need to pull these colors or it's gonna start to feel really weird. And also, I had some thoughts. So let's go back to the studio here. Going back to the studio. Run, run, run. We're there. I had some thoughts about this guy. I think I'm gonna take the edges off. I think it's feeling like it's too much. It's taking away from what this was meant to be. So what I'm trying to say is that I'm just basically having a giant meltdown about this and rethinking everything. And we're gonna knock off the sides. We're gonna paint some rocks some different colors, and then we're gonna just kind of restart, but not fully restart, but just kind of restart. Ultimately, it needs to go in my living room. It needs to feel one with my living room. So, should have thought of that ahead of time. Okay. If we were to cut new pieces that were literally an inch, so it only sits out about a ½ inch, we'll stain them and then we'll put the rocks into where they need to go. I really should have thought this through more. All right, we're going into, I don't know why I just got an Australian accent. I want like a Dave Attenborough. Here in the little stoop on the DIY Danie house lies the well-renowned Robin Bird of Ontario. Look at that, a perfect nest. Perfectly round, perfectly created. A DIYer couldn't even make it that beautiful. But we must be careful because there is a mother robin nearby. And that's been another update of DIY Danie in nature. No, I know, I love you. I know, I love you so much. I know, you're feeling very, very left out. I know. I love you. Yes, thank you. Now all we do is let it dry and we hang it up. Rock on. Rock on. I let this dry for 24 hours, and on the back I added 2 D-hooks and picture wires so that I could officially hang it up. I mean, was this a bunch of rocks glued to a board? Yes, but take the simplicity away and suddenly the piece starts to say a heck of a lot more. It surprised me. I wasn't sure what to expect from this idea, but loved how connected to nature it felt. It played with shadows from the rocks depending on what time of day it was. I loved the color story from the bottom to the top. It was playful. And I guess I feel it has a sense of calmness to it. It just feels so aligned with the environment of this living space, and I gotta say, I simply love it. Elevated, colorful rocks for the win. Okay, so we are moving on to a DIY project number 2. This one's a lot easier than the last project. Not to say that painting rocks and sticking it to a wood board is difficult. The point was to make these projects very, very easy. Either way, the object in which we are elevating is a wooden spoon.
There is no spoon.
We're going to be displaying wooden spoons on the wall in a ombre painted way. Yeah? So I kind of sketched up what my idea is going to look like. So what I envision are 4 spoons that are sitting on top of this beautiful piece of copper metal. Each set of 4 spoons are going to be dipped in different hues of green. So it feels like one unified piece, but each set of 4 kind of has its own color story. So what I have is 20 wooden spoons. I actually sourced these off of Amazon. They came in a pack of 3. They were really cheap. There's actually 2 big ones and 1 small one. So earlier today, I took my miter box and I actually cut all of the spoons that I needed down. And the first step that I want to do is stain these suckers. I wasn't really sure which stain I wanted to go with, so I ended up doing some tests ahead of time. As you can see here, we have 5 different colors of stain in kind of different hues, but we have red oak, dark walnut, special walnut, Puritan pine, and early American. Because this art piece is sitting right beside that faux beam that I built, that faux beam is in the color Puritan pine, so I don't really want it to match. I kind of want it to like complement each other. I think it came down to between red oak and dark walnut was definitely the winner. I think it's the perfect piece. I'm going to stain all of these spoons and then we can start doing our ombre dip. It's like my own little wand. And let's get going with the spoons. We're gonna start mixing our paints. Now, to do a perfect ombre, you kind of have to think about your paint in percentages. So we're gonna be doing 5 colors. So the first color is going to be 70% black and 30% sage green. Then the next color is going to be 70% sage green and 30% black. And then we have sage green just in the middle. And then we have a 70% sage and 30% white. The last color is going to be 30% sage and 70% white. So naturally, you're going to get a very beautiful progression of greens. We have our spoons stained and dipped, and at this point we're just waiting for that copper piece, and it doesn't look like it's here yet. So I guess we're gonna wait. I'm just kidding. We're gonna cut and then go to when it comes. Okay. Just got an announcement from Home Depot. My order is ready, so we're gonna go pick it up. And it's also raining. Oh man. Come on, bring me my material so I can go home and DIY. Please bring me my material so I can go home and DIY. We got our stuff and we're ready to rock and roll. Good morning. We are back in the DIY studio, and what I bought was this sheet of copper. Isn't that fun? I love this sound. But what I did was I spent the morning cleaning this up. What I want to do is cut this up into 5 pieces so that it's going to be the back of our art piece installation thing, and we should be good to go. So you're probably wondering, what am I gonna use to attach these spoons to my copper? I have a copper pipe. Maybe if I cut small little rings out of the copper pipe, are you catching my drift? It can sit behind the head of the spoon and I can just attach them onto the copper plate, and then Bob's your uncle. I really wanted it to be clean. I didn't want anything on top of the spoons or to hold it down. I just wanted it to feel like they were floating. Let's go on an adventure because I'm pretty sure I have a copper pipe in my she shack, so let's go see if I'm right. Copper pipe. Where are you? Okay. Did I put it? Oh! What's that? What's that? I found it! This is perfect! Do I have my copper piper cutters? Aha! 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 It was with the sponges. Sponge. Sponges. Not sponge. This super glue, like, it's really good at connecting the metal to metal, but it wasn't that great at holding the wood to the metal. So I ended up cutting little copper squares out of the excess that I had left over, added the squares on top of the rings, and then that allowed me to use an industrial glue gun to attach the wood pieces on. Trying to check on our bird eggs. Have they hatched yet? Oh my God, they have hatched! I was shocked. I'm sorry. I was expecting to see eggs. Okay, wait. I'm gonna be very quiet. I hope Mama doesn't hate me. You guys ready? Oh my goodness. Hi, little fellas. Oh my goodness. Hi. They're so tiny. Well, that was another edition of Danie in Nature. Ta-da! Oh my God, that was so cute. Good morning, DIY friends. How does my hair look? Does it look more purple to you? I ended up throwing some overtone into it. It's a brand that colors your hair but does it in a more natural way. I threw some in to see if I could purple it up a little bit more, and I think it worked. Very happy about that. Okay, back to the programming. So it is the next day. I let those spoons dry for a good solid 24 hours. I really wanted that glue to set. I took this copper iridescent paint, it's an acrylic paint, and I just painted over some of the glued spots, and I kind of just cleaned it up, gave it a much nicer high-end look, and I'm pretty happy with the outcome. Let's go hang this up and see what this weird spoon art piece looks like. Let's go. Well, check it out, DIY friends. I mean, the idea is pretty out there, but it certainly is a fun project that adds a lot of whimsy and conversation to my home. I love weird things like this because it just makes my home feel one of a kind. I never want my space to feel like it takes itself too seriously, and I think this ombre wooden spoon display certainly does that for me. Well, there you have it, DIY friends. 2 very unusual items that have been elevated into something new. Who knew you could make such cool art out of rocks and wooden spoons? I hope it feels unique and maybe it'll inspire you to take something and elevate it for your home. Either way, let me know down below, what did you think of these 2 projects? Is this something you would put in your own home? Let me know in the comment section below if this would be a cool series to see where we can take unusual, just like plain everyday items and see if we can elevate it in a cool high-end home decor way. So I'll see you guys next week. As always, stay positive, stay creative, and keep on DIYing. Bye-bye.